3, 2, 1. See. Ready to do that?
Probably just remain super
Yeah,
silent and
buddy.
give a really loud clap into the mic.
We're looking good. Okay, now. Alright, now that I got my hands all washed up from that charcoal. Okay, so today we're going to be making some country style pork ribs. These are boneless. These are fairly cheap, and we're going to turn them into something that don't taste cheap. Now, they've been marinated overnight, but what I want to do first is get them up out of that marinade because we're going to want them to be as dry as possible. And just start taking them out, and then we're going to pat these really dry, really dry. Just want to get all that excess marinade on there off of there. Set them over here on our bacon rack. Now, the drier the meat is when you put it on the grill, the better crust and bark you're going to get on it. So that's why we really want to dry this up so that time that it spends in the smoke could do more than just put some smoke flavoring on there. It could really give us a nice texture. I'm sure I'll watch this video back and be like, you could have did that so much easier. Now, one thing I learned while making this recipe was pork can handle a lot more marinade than other meats. I had put this in the marinade 2 days ago, and I was gonna make this yesterday, but allergies had me down bad. So I left it in there another day, and I researched. It said pork is so dense that you could actually marinate it for 3 or 4 days. So I thought that was interesting. Of course, the taste of this might say something different. We'll have to see. Now there's our marinated pork. And what I'm going to do is bring one hand out. Now, we're going to use 2 different kinds of rubs today. First thing we're going to use is just an all-purpose rub. Use your favorite one. We got some salt, pepper, and garlic in here. So, you season one side. Now, here's a little tip for some of you guys that is brand new, starting out. The higher up you hold your seasoning, the more evenly it could coat. Especially something like this. It's a little coarse, and we don't want to, we don't want to disproportionately distribute it. So, just come up here and let it fall where it may. Now it's important, what I like to do first is lay down this base layer. Salt, pepper, garlic, onion. That's it. Alright, we want to let that sit on there. So we're going to loosely cover it up, but that salt is important to be on there first before our barbecue rub, because what it does is it draws out that moisture. Remember, we were talking about moisture. We want as little as possible. That salt's going to help us with that. So right now we're going to go mess with this grill. We're going to get it up dialed into temp. By the time we get that dialed up to temp, this should just be about ready to go on. So let's see how everything comes together. All right, now safety first. These have had time to chill. Be right back. These have had time to chill. They're nice and tacked up. You guys can see they're a little glistening. So I'm gonna take a paper towel one more time. We're just gonna pat them dry. Nothing too serious. We do want a little bit of a moisture just for the next rub that we put on the stick. So I'm just gonna pat them. That's that moisture that the salt drew out. All right, now I'm going to come in with some BBQ Rub. You can use your favorite one. This is the one I like for ribs, so this is the one I'm going to put on these boneless ribs. Now don't forget, Nobody really likes the taste of meat. Just meat. That's why we season it up. So don't be afraid. Don't be afraid. Nobody's gonna say I can't taste the meat in this. We don't want to taste the meat. We want to taste the seasonings. We want to taste the marinade. We want to taste the smoke, and we want to taste this rub. So marinate it for 2 days. It's gonna be in that smoke for a couple hours. Season accordingly. Also, I think it's important to note that the first ingredient in this rub, the reason why I like to use this on pork especially, and you could be so liberal with it, is because salt is not the first ingredient. If you're getting the rub where salt is the first ingredient, you're not going to want to do this, okay? So be mindful of your salt content. I'll sync up the audio before you start your transition. Syncing up audio. All right, we're back. Our ribs have hit temp, and we're going to check them now. So what we're looking for now is we want to make sure it has a good bark on it. And once we make sure it has a good bark on it, the bark that we want, we're going to transfer it to this baking dish, add a little barbecue sauce, cover it up, and then throw it back on there for another hour, maybe 2. I don't know. We're going to let it just simmer and slow cook. All right, let's open this lid and see what's going on here. Yeah, buddy. All right. We're looking good. All right, we got that in our foil pan and it's all covered up. Now what we want to do is we just want to get our fire back up to temp. We want to braise these 275, 300, whatever. What we want to do is we want to make sure that they get up over 205. We want those just falling straight apart. And 205 for pork is the temperature that does that. So we're going to let these things rock out in that barbecue sauce in that covered pan. Right now we're coming back up to temp. I'm going to dial these things up and we're just going to give it an hour, hour and a half, however long it takes. We'll be back. Woo. All right, now these have been braising. They're all good. They're ready to come off. We want to give them a little char.
It's time for the taste test.
I know I said I didn't want to do this on the camera, but I got to.
I want to see the reaction.
Falling straight up my
You can't even talk.
melt in your mouth.
Not in your hand, paws.
Oh yeah, it's good. Hey, you gotta eat. You might as well enjoy it.